let's make some cake. I'm so excited. I have 2 cakes in mind. I have birthdays coming up, and you know what that means? Homemade cake. So we're gonna start with 1, and depending on how that goes, I'm gonna do a second cake. The first one that I want to do is a dairy-free, gluten-free, everything I cook is dairy-free, gluten-free, but it's a dairy-free, gluten-free cake. This one is super accessible because I literally ordered this like from your regular schmegular grocery store. So this is the first cake we're going to be making. It's a chocolate cake. I find that any gluten-free, dairy-free cake is just best with layers of frosting. So I got a couple different ones that we can choose from, starting off with just a regular chocolate frosting. I haven't tried this one before, so I'm really like fingers crossed that it's amazing. And then I don't know if you guys have ever made a marshmallow fluff ice cream, or not ice cream, frosting. My sister has this recipe, and it's not just marshmallow fluff, it's mixed with some other things, and it's like this tangy sweet. Tangy is like such a hard, I don't know. It's a really, really good frosting. So my idea was that maybe I can make them in different layers. I'm also thinking, because we don't know how they're going to turn out, either they're going to be so good, everybody's going to want them, or they're like, nobody's going to come, and gluten-free stuff just doesn't hold up that well. So I am considering doing everything in like a muffin size, and then making these like layered would also be so much easier than making like a full-size cake and trying to cut off like little pieces of cake. I just feel like it would be more satisfying to have like a cupcake's worth at a time. So that's what I'm thinking we'll do. Tonight, my goal is to get the chocolate cake mix made, and then maybe we'll assemble tomorrow, and that's when we're gonna be able to make the lemon cake as well. Something else that encouraged me to make this is that I got this KitchenAid, and I am in like my cooking era post getting the KitchenAid. I'm like making any excuse to use it. So let's just get this out. Obviously cake in a box, you can just hand mix, but I'm too excited and I want to use my KitchenAid. All right, so I did start the oven at 350. Perfect. Okay. All right, it's actually saying to make sure and line my stuff first. So I'm gonna make the cupcake liners. These are stainless steel cupcake tins. Most people have aluminum, but I love these because they're dishwasher safe. They're low tox, slightly better for you, and they're not gonna like leach harmful chemicals into your body, or at least it's gonna reduce the amount. These are also the If You Care baking cups. They have different sizes, so you just wanna get the ones, these are like regular. But I also like these because they're parchment liners. And okay, it says use greased, so I'm gonna add oil to these on top as well. But I like these because again, they're a low tox option, and I just think that liners make a cake style so much better. And like I said, we're gonna like disassemble it, reassemble it, the whole thing. But the difference between these and other cupcake liners is that these ones are unbleached. Really not thrilled with this because I accidentally got the Rich Taste olive oil, and I'm all for like an oil, but I'm gonna just try to do the lightest little amount on these. And if I wasn't filming a video, typically I oil things over the kitchen counter because the oil kind of goes everywhere, and so the kitchen sink, because the oil kind of goes everywhere, and that's gonna like condense it, keep your space a lot cleaner. It's just a good hack, especially if you're already kind of like a messy person. Okay, I also want to show you this. If you guys are like beginners like me, this is called a Swedish dish rag. If you don't already have dish rags and you're looking to invest in some, these are definitely an upgrade from the regular rags. They dry way faster. You could throw them in the washing machine or the dishwasher to wash them, and they're just a good reusable staple, and they don't get like musky smelling and as like dirty smelling as a regular washcloth. So those are a great addition as well. All right, let's get to mixing. So you're gonna do the oil, the water, and the eggs first. Let me grab my mixing measure. Because this recipe does call for olive oil, or for oil, I'm just gonna give you like some words of knowledge. You can always use like canola oil or like the yellow oil that you find in the baking section. Health-wise, I don't view that as like as healthy. It's just got a lot of things that are like don't really help your body, whereas olive oil is like such a good healthy source of like whole source of oil that's going to give your body a lot of the nutrients that it needs. And I know a lot of people get like food fear or whatever, but oil is nothing to fear. It is so amazing for your hair, skin, nails. It makes your brain very intelligent. Fats are really good for the quality of your brain and how smart you are. So you don't want to shy away, and you don't want to feel any type of way using it. The one thing is there's different kinds and different qualities of olive oil. This isn't even like a great olive oil, it's just simply olive oil. So what you want to do when you're looking for olive oil to make sure that you're getting a good one is the bare minimum. You want to check the ingredients and make sure that the only ingredient is olive oil. A lot of times how they will get you at the store is by selling you what's like considered an olive oil, and then like ingredient number 1 will be canola, and then the last ingredient will be olive oil, which is really a blend. And it's not giving you the same quality and nutrients that you're going to get with just pure olive oil. So if you were at like an olive oil store, they're going to sell you different kinds of olive oil. And I'm so sorry if this is long-winded and you don't care, but I just feel like, you know, when you're cooking with your mom, she's just telling you all this information and you're like, I don't care. And then one day you just open your eyes and you care, but you're like, I don't remember any of the information. I'm your mom right now. Take it or leave it. So anyway, when you get to like a fancy olive oil store, they will have you try different ratings of olive oils, and they're going to be different strengths. So something like that one that I just sprayed in the pan that I was telling you, like, ooh, you're going to be able to taste a little bit of that like greener flavor. It's going to taste a little bit healthier, a little bit stronger, because it's a certain kind of olive oil. So you're really looking for something, it doesn't need to say light, but you want to make sure that this is like a neutral flavored olive oil. And like I said, like you can go to Walmart, this is from Sam's Club, but you can go to Walmart, places like that, and they're still going to have like bold, strong flavored olive oils and then less flavored olive oils. And it's really all about the polyphenol count in the olive oils, but I don't think that they are putting that on the labels at like Walmart. So I'm just trying to give you like generic detail. All right, let's start with 2/3 of a cup, 1/4 cup of water. Wait, what am I doing? Pause. I'm also really excited to get the comparison of the box cake versus the homemade cake, just because it's hard to judge if a recipe is like what they're deeming good if you don't have like what the standard is. So like I think I've only had one other cake. I bought one slice of cake and it was $8 this week, and it was a gluten-free, dairy-free cake, and it was layered, and that's kind of what inspired this. But it's hard to judge. That was supposed to be 1/3 cup of water, dang it. But it's hard to judge, so having them side by side, it will be interesting to see which one is like the best. All right, let's start lightly beating this together. Of course. Think about how if you take these warning labels off, like we all do, because what in the world literally is this? How your warranty voids on a lot of products, like hair dryers and all sorts of things. And I'm like, what a scam. Okay, let's plop some of this in. When anything flour, go slow. I'm also really intrigued to see the wet texture, because I think this is gonna help me learn for when I make my other cake and it's not gonna be out of the box. We were one short of 24 muffins, of course, because I overfilled a few. Yeah, let's hope for the best. Set my timer for 18 minutes, and I guess I'll see you then. Okay, the timer's going off. Yes, these have very good structure. I think this is exactly what you want them to look like. See how when I'm shaking them, like, nothing's moving around in there? It's been baked. What I'm gonna do is take them out and put them on the drying or cooling rack. I also like these gloves for that. Oh yeah. Wait, I watched a video. And you set this on here. Holla at ya. Okay, and then you, like, it's set like this, and you're just gonna flip it over like this. And then this side's not hot. And then you just pick it up. Oh, smooth. Okay, and these just need a light wipe down because there's a little bit of oil. I feel obligated to flip these around. Yeah, I gotta flip them right away. Oh my gosh, no, what am I doing? Oh, I feel like we're learning so much today. Thank goodness we did these ones first, because they're just a lot less labor intensive, I'm sure, than making the non-box ones that we're gonna do tomorrow. Welcome, and thank you for being here tonight. I have a special treat for you. We're gonna be making a lemon cake. And this is a special lemon cake because it's going to be gluten-free, dairy-free, and also delicious. And you wonder, how do I know that it's going to be delicious? I actually have never tried this cake before. I've actually never baked this cake before. I'm actually not even 100% sure that I've had a lemon cake like this before. But I have confidence. And confidence is all you need. So, let me give you the rendition where we started. Oh my gosh, and I have cucumber. I just had a little cucumber treat. So, okay, so where we started. I was like, you know, my birthday's coming up. I've been in my baking era lately. I got this one cookbook. It's a beautiful cookbook, and it's really been inspiring me to get baking, cooking more. But this cookbook specifically teaches you how to take original recipes and make them gluten-free and dairy-free. Boring. Okay. So anyway, I have been getting into baking, and so I always have a craving for lemon desserts, and it's been too long. I think the last time that we made a lemon dessert was about a month ago, maybe 2, and it's just been far too long. I go to the grocery store and I never find anything that hits the spot for my lemon dessert craving. So I have been craving, since we made that last dessert, the frosting that was on my lemon rolls, and so I really want to make that again. I did get the ingredients, but I also see that they have a second frosting option that comes with the lemon cake recipe that I found, so I'm considering doing either one. And I just thought, let's make something simple today. Let's make something easy. So come with me and let's have a relaxing night. Oh, also, I called one of my friends and I told her tonight's the night I'm making the lemon cake. Like, we've been talking about it, and we've been talking about it, but tonight we're doing it. And when I called her, she was like, oh my gosh, Emma Chamberlain just posted a video baking her birthday cake. And I was like, perfect. So in the background, if you hear Emma, you're welcome. You're welcome that you got that extra oomph of Emma also entertaining me while I entertain you baking a cake. So let's go. Just a quick pause for my dog to use the restroom. Q, are you ready to come inside? Oh, good boy. I guess you're getting faceless, but I'll talk to you. I'm snacking on some dinner. Is this thing tipping on me? I can't. So I'm gonna start mixing up the dry ingredients. This was what was recommended for the gluten-free flour blend, specifically in the blue bag. Oops. This xanthan gum is what's going to make it not seem as gluten-free. It does have a weird smell, but if it's like super, super sour, then it's probably expired. This has more of a yeasty smell, a chemical yeast type of smell. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, it says a finely grated zest of 1 lemon, but they reserved some for the very, very end, and they said at least a tablespoon. So I'm going to just reserve like what I think is maybe a teaspoon and put the rest in here. Now, when you're working with lemon, a glass bowl is really best. Something about the stainless can make the lemon taste like irony or something like that. So I'm going to try to use the most like glass and non-metal like stainless materials as possible. Of course, my whisk. What am I going to do about it, you know? But that's why I would do a glass bowl if I had glass. And even if you were like cooking anything, I would go non-stainless route. The most you can. Okay, I'm going to start beating together the butter and sugar. Well, you should have time to mix this together. So for the butter, 12 tablespoons. So basically 1.5 sticks, roughly. And I think if these are softened, that would be fine. I basically just got mine out of the fridge, but don't tell anyone. We're giving them time to come to room temp right now. So you're gonna beat these on a medium speed until they look almost fluffy with the sugar. Beautiful. Okay, 1 cup of sugar. I'm really proud of how this is turning out so far. It already smells like lemon in here and I'm getting really excited. So glad you guys can see what I'm doing up there. 3 egg whites, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Let's start with that. And then it's gonna be 1 egg, right? Where does that say that? I swear I read it earlier. My most recent lemon recipe that I made, it called for egg yolks and I made it with egg whites and then I had to start all over. My mom gave me farm fresh eggs, but they're so tiny and I really want to make a special, just an egg dish with them. And I'm going to start making some fresh squeezed lemon juice. We need 3 tablespoons, which is the equivalent to 1/4 of a cup. So I'm going to do to there and then put it in here. We need 1 cup of milk. The thing is, I got too small of a measuring cup, not paying attention. So I'm going to do it to the 1 cup line and then we're going to still need 1/4 a cup after this. Okay, it's saying add this, then add some of the flour, then add some of this, then the flour, back and forth. And then we'll add another 1/4 a cup of milk after that. Now I am using half and half because it's dairy free, so this is a fairly decent alternative. Okay, it says it's gonna be fluffy but rather thick, and I think we hit the nail on that. I don't have 8-inch round pans, so I'm just gonna make these little pans that I have work. Gorgeous. Not my theme word being gorgeous today, but I'm eating it up. I'm loving it. I'm not gonna change it. I think I'm gonna do a whole 3rd one. I feel like this one's skinnier than the others. Roughly 25 minutes. Because of this one specifically, I'm only gonna put them in for like 20 minutes, I think, and then see how they're doing. Time to make some cream cheese frosting. I'm using the Violife cream cheese. Oof, I think it would be better if this was fluffier. Like I had let it sit out longer. And I'm gonna use about the rest of that stick of butter, basically. Maybe 1/4 a cup of lemon juice. That was actually such a wild. Why is my camera moving? That is such a wild squirt of lemon. This isn't what I want, so I'm gonna whip it up and I'm gonna try a new recipe. We're trying a new thing. Of course, I didn't read the recipe. I saw that we needed milk in the other portion of the recipe, and I used my cream because I had bought it, so I figured it was for that. And that needed to be room temp, which it hasn't fully cooled that, or like heated up. But then I see we need chilled cream for this portion of the recipe. So we're off to a good start. We're off to a good start. So it's 1.5 cups, which now I'm not sure if we'll even have enough. And in fact, we do. So we're gonna start whipping this up on high until it forms good peaks. Which this is dairy free, and this isn't my preferred one that I know whips. So we'll see if anything happens here. Okay, this is look 1 at the cakes. Ooh, they are white. In the meantime, this is what my frosting's looking like. It's supposed to be stiff formed peaks. Do you see it? This is straight up just liquid spewing out of here. So I'm gonna make up a frosting recipe and have a little Menti bee real quick. I'm actually starting to sweat and not really enjoy the process as much. Let's see here. Oop. I don't know what to do with this. This is just cream. Okay, I'm gonna go back to this concoction I was making, which is cream cheese, butter, and confectioner's sugar. And I'm gonna just try to perfect the amounts in here, I guess. And then in the meantime, we're gonna need to start lemoning up our cakes. The texture of this just isn't even good because I just didn't cream it properly, I don't think either. I'm gonna try to take these little cakes and put them on the rack to let them cool. Actually, we might just be able to plop them out using the parchment paper. If they're fully cooked, we'll know. Yeah, this one also needs cooked a little bit more. Okay, back in the oven. This actually looks pretty good. It's like fluffy, it's whipped, it's a little bit separated, but I think it's all that lemon juice and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm gonna package this up and put it in the fridge because I don't want to put it, since it is cream cheese, I don't want to put it on there until the cake has fully cooled. The frosting was the whole reason I wanted to make this recipe, so that not turning out, I was like, what are we doing? Let's finish these babies strong. It said take them off and cool them. Truly, it's none of my business. This is what you're gonna do. Now you're gonna take some lemon juice, of course. Little miscalculation, used all the lemons. We have no more. And you're gonna juice these bad boys. Just a light dusting. Okay. Flip it around. Whew. That one's a little wet, but that's fine. Oh no, that was the wrong direction. Another light coating of juice. Now, you want to leave these out to dry and cool overnight, and I'll catch back with you when we're actually eating these. Okay, and I want to do an official taste test of the lemon cake. This is what it's looking like. I do think when I first had baked it, it had more fluff to it. I think after it sat, it had more density, and I also think that it's very important for your cream cheese and butter or whatever you're gonna whip, if you can't use the whipping cream whipped method, to be soft so that you don't get this like crumbly situation. Otherwise you have to soften it upon eating. So let's do a taste test. And I added just some zest to make it pretty, but really you can have it however you want. It's actually pretty good, but not nearly as good as my lemon crinkle cookies. So I think we just need to go back to the lemon crinkle cookie recipe because this is not satisfying my need. Although I do have lemon cake. Well, happy birthday. Have a great day.